How's it going, guys? My name is Shariah and welcome back to MoneyMetEish. Today I'm going to profile the newest addition to the MoneyMetEish EasyEquities portfolio. We're going to go over why I bought into this investment, and we'll have a closer look at what it is and how it works. But before we get started, please remember to hit that like button, subscribe and comment down below, and ring the bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. Also remember that my videos are meant for edutainment purposes only and should not be used as the basis for any financial or investment decisions. Please contact a registered financial service provider before making any financial decisions, as I'm not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice, and this is not a blank cup. Today's video is brought to you by Sentio Capital. Sentio integrates fundamental research with quantitative risk management, and their detailed and disciplined investment process is underpinned by scientific methodologies which combine human knowledge and experience with AI learning. To find out more about Sentio Capital and the products they offer, head over to their Instagram page or visit sentiocapital.com, links in the description below. We at MoneyMetEish would like to thank Sentio Capital for sponsoring this video. Sentio Capital, investing for good. So, the MoneyMetEish portfolio has changed quite a lot over the past year, but one thing that hasn't changed is our focus on trying to maximize our returns while minimizing the amount of risk we take in our holdings. Over the past year, we have noticed that our portfolio doesn't really have the same level of exposure to South Africa as we would like. We didn't want a massive exposure, but certainly more than we currently have. So, when looking for an investment that would replace the monthly contributions we are redirecting away from one of our other holdings, which has reached the desired weighting in our portfolio, we had a few criteria that had to be met. The fund had to be accessible in the tax-free savings account, as this is where the money is available in our portfolio. It also had to have at least 50% of the holdings be in South African equities. The fund has to have a performance and total expense ratio, or TER, that we were happy with, and the fund had to share our investment goals and values in terms of minimizing risk but maximizing performance. We found an investment that met all of these criteria. And that investment vehicle is the Sentio SCI Sharia General Equity Fund Unit Trust. We chose an actively managed unit trust over a passive ETF for a few reasons, which we'll go into a little bit later, as it ties into another important aspect of why we chose a Sharia fund over a conventional fund as well. But what is Sharia investing? Sharia investing is based on the principles of Islamic or Sharia law and involves excluding certain sectors of the investment universe on the basis of their impact on society. Sharia investing has been doing ESG investing before ESG investing was cool. For example, Sharia restrictions include avoiding interest-charging entities, companies that hold excessive amounts of debt of interest-bearing instruments, and those engaged in what Sharia law views as socially harmful activities, like gambling, alcohol, and weapons manufacturing. There is often a common misconception that Sharia investing vehicles are only available to Muslims, and that's not the case. Sharia investment funds and vehicles are available to all investors who wish to invest in them. It's just that they're mainly advertised to Muslims, as the funds were specifically created to give Muslims a way to invest while still following the laws of their faith. Now, you might think that not being able to invest in certain companies means you have to choose morals over money. That is not the case. As we have seen with the broader ESG theme, companies that are run based on sound principles do perform better over time. In fact, Sharia investing has outperformed conventional indices. The Dow Jones Islamic Index has outperformed the Dow Jones Global Index over 3, 5, and 10 years. And we're talking 6 to 8% higher returns. The difference in return is comparable to the average return that you would expect from the S&P 500. Looking more locally, this particular fund, the Sentio HIKMA Sharia General Equity Fund, has not only outperformed its benchmark over 1 and 3 years, but has also outperformed the JSE Top 40, represented here by the Satrix 40, our measure for all things JSE Top 40, by roughly 5, 9, and 17% over 1, 3, and 5 years, as of the most recently available minimum disclosure documents for the fund, which was the end of August this year. Earlier I said that one of the reasons we chose this fund was because it is an actively managed fund. And these generally tend to have a higher total expense ratio, but with a TER of under 1%, it is reasonably priced in terms of other actively managed funds. It falls in the middle of the road in terms of Sharia funds, and it's not too far off from some of the more expensive passively managed ETFs available on EasyEquities. The reason I opted for an actively managed fund instead of a passively managed fund is simple. Recently, it seems as if accounting scandals are an annual occurrence on the JSE, and I don't want any part of that for our MoneyMetEish portfolio. So I chose an actively managed fund where companies are more regularly looked at and scrutinized than a passive fund where they might only get looked at once every 6 months. The fact that companies go through multiple layers of screening before being admitted to the fund, especially since the companies cannot have more than 33% debt to assets and cannot obtain more than 5% of its income from interest, as per Sharia law, makes us more comfortable as we are not only taking extra measures to stay as far away from scandals as possible, but we are also investing in companies that live the idea that we often share here on MoneyMetEish, that debt is dumb, by not overly indebting their customers. The fund offers us exposure to the South African market in a way that also offers us extra protection for our hard-earned money, and lets us know that we are investing in a socially responsible manner. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest, since honesty is the foundation that MoneyMetEish is built upon. This month started with us working with Sentio to bring content together for this fund and the Sentio HIKMA Sharia Balanced Fund. This collaboration came with no strings and no expectations from their side for us to invest with them. Initially, I looked at their products on offer and found the idea of Sharia investing to be rather peculiar, and I didn't fully understand it. But after I've spent the last month going over this fund, granted I have had access to the fund manager that the general population wouldn't have. I mean, I did send him a 30-question questionnaire, which he graciously answered. Thank you so much, MTS, for that. I can honestly say that it is a fund that I am genuinely happy to be invested in. And even after this content partnership with Sentio comes to an end, I will be more than happy to continue my investment with Sentio and this fund. Both the Sentio HIKMA Sharia General Equity and the Sentio HIKMA Sharia Balanced Funds are available in both the ZAR and tax-free savings accounts on EasyEquities. And if they are funds that you think you would like to invest in, please don't just take my word for it. Do your own research. Contact Sentio and ask any of the questions you might have either via the phone, via email, or on any of their social media accounts, all of which are linked down below. Thanks for watching, guys. If you found this video helpful or insightful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and ring the bell to be notified anytime we upload a new video. You can also contact MoneyMetEish on moneymeteish@gmail.com Or find MoneyMetEish on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere where MoneyMetEishes are. Thank you and good night.